What is up, YouTube? Marcus, aka Apostle, here, coming at you with another Secret Spots and Paths video. Today we are doing Hollywood. Let's get to it. There's not a whole lot of useful spots on this map, but there's some cool little interesting things I could show you. To begin with, you can get on top of these little coming soon signs here if you want to camp their spawn. This isn't really too useful of a spot, as usually you won't be able to get a kill. I mean, maybe if you're like Farah, who can get out of here easily or something, you could sit up here, fire a couple rockets down, then use your boost and go over the wall. But that's not really too useful of a spot. You can do the same thing on the other side, which I think is a little bit more useful for the defending side. If I can grapple the right thing here, you could just sit right on top of this little coming soon sign in this cubby here and wait for them to come out and then get a couple shots. Push people where you need them to be out here, let your team get some picks, and then get out of there. Another little spot you can camp in to catch the attacking team off guard is right up here on top of this little sign here. You can sit here, get a few picks, but once again you're kind of trapped in this corner after this. But other than that, you can just jump down, get in this room, and hopefully survive. These spots are a little bit of a suicide attempt spot, so if you get a kill, it's useful, but you really need to get 2, maybe 3 to make use out of them, as their spawn is right there and yours is pretty far away. So if they pick you off, you have a long way to walk where they really don't. There's a couple more cool spots in this area here. This one's not really too much of a secret, but if you just stand behind this little box here, you can snipe, pick some people off, and then hide. And really not a lot of people look here, so you can get some picks without getting noticed, and you still have a pretty good amount of cover. You're kind of head glitching behind this little box, so it's a pretty good sniper spot. If you head over here to the left, you can get on top of this garbage can, and a lot of flanking characters like to push this way on attack. If you just sit here as like maybe a Widowmaker or some type of Junkrat or Farah or something, you could sit here, wait for people to pop around this corner, get a nice little headshot, easy pick on a Genji or maybe a Tracer. You can also sit here as a Farah or a Junkrat and really just wait for people to come through here, take a couple pop shots at them, get out of here, and your team's usually sitting right here to help pick them up. But it's really just a great spot to help get some cover and watch this area that a lot of people like to push through. If you want to watch the lower area, you can come right back here on this large med pack. Use this little thing as cover. You can knock the books off, but use this little thing as cover and just pick people off as they're coming through these lower doors, or maybe running away through those lower doors. A lot of people get hit and jump down into a lower med pack that's down here. There's a little med pack that a lot of people like to go to. They really tend to funnel through this room, so you can get some nice picks from right back here, and you have some good cover. And if you get hit, you just have this med pack right here that you can pick up and then get back to it. You can also camp right up here. If you pull yourself up here and crouch, you can get in this corner. This one's not really very useful. I mean, you can maybe get some lucky shots as they're pushing up, but you're trapped in this corner. There's not a lot of way to go. You don't have a lot of vision, and it's really not a useful spot. It's just a little interesting thing I wanted to show you guys. While trying to lock down the second story up here, I find this actually pretty useful. This little golden part of the wall here, you can actually walk on. If you jump up here, you can just get up on this area. A lot of people are expecting you to be down lower, so they naturally look down. And you can get the jump on people if they're chasing you. If you jump up here in this corner, they're not going to be looking for you up here. They're going to be looking for you down here, and they're going to shoot more than likely at your feet. It gives you a little bit of an advantage, as they're going to be looking down, and it's going to be less likely that they're going to headshot you. So a lot of people know you can get over this wall here as Farah by using her boost. You can also do it by using a Junkrat grenade and bouncing yourself over, or as Widow, you can grapple up here and just pull yourself right over as well. It's a nice little shortcut if they're holding this flank, or it's not really the best for Widow, but if there's a lot of people crowded in this room, you could push up behind them as Junkrat or Farah and then just really get the jump on some people who are usually looking this way. Or maybe you can land here, take out a Torbjorn turret, or just have your Farah flow up in this area up here and hide up here, pop out. A lot of people like to put their Torbjorn turrets here, so you can pick off a turret or a bastion while keeping the cover of the wall and taking the least amount of damage as possible. There's another spot that a lot of people like to use. It's right up here. A lot of people know about this, but some of you don't, so I figured I'd show you guys. You can put a Torbjorn turret up here. You can snipe from up here. It's a great vantage point to have the high ground. You can also hop on these little bars over here. On these bars over here is a little bit of a surprise, just because most people are going to look up here at this pad for people, and they're not really going to look over here in this corner. It doesn't really give you as good as a vantage point, but it does give you a little bit of a sneaky aspect to your spot. Once the attacking team captures the payload, they're going to be spawning down here, so if you're sitting up here, you can really fire down on them as they come out of their spawn and just keep them locked up in their spawn for a long time if you sit up here, and keep some of their key players locked in their spawn this way, or maybe even get a few picks. And then if you're Pharah or Junkrat, you can just get out of here pretty quickly, jump down here, just walk right out. If you get hit, little med kit to pick up, and then you're out of here. Another useful path that you can use to get to the payload faster without going through either of these choke points is just grapple right up over here, and you could actually, if you plan it right, you can land right here, land on the high ground, get the high ground advantage back, sneak up behind some people that usually like to camp these stairs. It's just a really great area to sneak up on people and get around without having to go through the 2 doorways that they can lock you down from. Another little sneaky spot you can get into is right up here. Not on this balcony, but down onto these little boxes, if I can do it. You can watch this room from here and just get a little bit of a sneaky advantage on them, as most people will be looking down here and they really have to aim pretty high to get the headshot on you. So you have the advantage as they're walking through. You can get some easier headshots and you have less of a chance of them headshotting you. If you head into this building here, you can get on top of these boxes here, camp in this corner. I don't know, it's useful as maybe a Junkrat or a Reaper or something as they're coming through. They don't really look up here. They're more waiting for people around this corner, so you can jump on them right here and just get some early shots off, maybe get some easy picks. You can also get on this box right across over here, do the same thing. They're not really looking up here. I think this is a better spot because they can't really see you as they're coming through this doorway, so you can really get the jump on them, and they're going to be looking down here when they take damage, so you can get maybe a couple easy headshots, maybe even a pick before they notice that you're up here. It's a pretty useful spot. If you have control of this area and you know the attacking team's going to be pushing through here, you can use this as a head glitch spot and you can get some early pops off and just really have the advantage with your cover here. It's a really small chance that they'll be able to hit you. They have a little tiny area to be able to hit you in because you're just head glitching this box, and you could just get some easy shots. A lot of people look this way, look out that direction, and you could shoot them in the back while they're looking the opposite direction. You can really get on top of any of these boxes in here and use them in any way you see fit. This one's also a decent little head glitch. It's not really a head glitch, but it gives you some cover if you're crouching, and it's a little bit more useful than standing in the open. You have that little tiny bit of cover, and you could always drop down behind here. Better than standing in the open. Another box that's useful as a Reaper is if you get on top of here, you can just sit up here, and if you do it carefully, unlike me, you can get some early shots off here, get some easy headshots, as most characters are right at the right height, so their head's right here. If you're Reaper, you can get an easy headshot and then maybe a second easy headshot, but you can get some easy picks on some squishier characters with this spot here. And then if they turn and shoot, drop down, you got some cover, they pop out again, and you'll usually have enough health to be able to pick somebody off. On the attacking side as a Widowmaker, say you push the payload up to about that wagon over there, you can get on top of these hay bales and crouch up and down and pick some people off as they're coming around the corner. You got to keep an eye on this area here, as a lot of people like to push over here, but this is a great head glitch spot to pick some people off as Widow. Another decent head glitching spot is in the wagon over here. It's a little rough getting into here, but once you're in here, you can crouch down and use the wagon as cover, get some easy picks while they don't really have an easy shot because you have this cover in front of you. You can also do it with this back wagon over here. Same thing, just sit down, watch this area. You have the cactus here as cover, can't shoot through that cactus, and then you can also cover over here. You have the perfect line of sight for some headshots here and over there, and you really have some pretty decent cover from this wagon side. If you're playing a character that doesn't have a lot of mobility and you need to get up in this area here, you can actually use these hay bales, just jump on the edges here and then jump up here, and you're just right up here. You don't have to push the doorway, go up the stairs or anything. You can sneak up on people that are coming up the stairway here and just really get the jump on people. Say you're Reinhardt and they're pushing up this way and you know they're pushing up this way, just jump up here real quick and then charge down this way, and you could usually get a pin right here in this corner. This is a pretty nice little shortcut to get up this way without getting in the line of sight. I saved my favorite spots for last. They're right in this room here. Not a lot of people use these, and I find them really useful as a Pharah or a Widowmaker just to get the jump on people. You can grapple up here, sit right here on top of this rocket. You can also get on top of both of these meteors. You can get up on this one, gives you a great vantage point, and most people are usually looking for you here, so you have the aspect of surprise once again. You can get on top of this one over here, which I think is even better. You're really hidden. You have a little bit of cover from this down here. Not really anybody's looking this high in the air, so you're really in a good spot in terms of getting shots off without being noticed. The final spot I'm going to show you today is right here on top of this weird purple thing. You just grapple up here. You can drop down right on this edge here. It's nice to get a little jump on people that are trying to hide behind these boxes here, or just anybody really pushing through this area you have the jump on. You can watch this doorway over there. If you're a Pharah and you really need to charge up your jetpack again, you could land here, still have the high ground advantage, and then charge up your jet again. And if you need to, fly right over here. I find this spot pretty useful for keeping the high ground advantage in this inside area here. Anyways, guys, that's all the spots I have for you on Hollywood. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope you find these spots useful. If you did enjoy, please like, comment, and subscribe. And if you're looking for more Overwatch content, be sure to check out my live stream down in the description below. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a great day.